Basic Sage walls for Abyss. Let's talk about it. If you're new here, my name is Default Sage. My content aims to help other Sage mains win rounds in Valorant. I'm Ascendant rank, so keep in mind these may not work in all ranks. That said, say hello to our Assistant Sage and let's head over to A site. So you're going to see right away that A site has the Abyss right in the middle and it also has it off to the right. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later. The first wall is a very simple one. You can essentially wall over these large structures. This is going to work on both A and B sites. So if you are a battle Sage, one that plays more aggressive, this is going to work really well for you. Now, anytime you see a ledge like this one on any site, this is good for Sage because essentially these are all one ways, and I'm going to show you one right now. If you plant it in this corner right here, you can place your wall on top of the ledge, and what this is going to do is it's going to create a one way that you can use for A main. Now, I would play pretty far back, and this is what it looks like in game. If somebody tries to defuse, you can shoot them just like this. Now, here's a different variation of the same wall. You can do it on the bridge as well because there is a ledge that covers the bridge. So what you don't want to do is do not plant it on the left side, and here's why. If you plant it on the left side and you place your one-way wall, they can still defuse and you can't shoot them, and this is what it's going to look like. So what you want to do is you want to plant it on the right side, and again, if I were to use this in game, I would play extremely passive because you have 100% the advantage here. So don't over peek, don't get over aggressive because they have to defuse and you have 100% full vision on them. Here's a situational plant that you can put in this corner right here. So if you plant the spike in this corner, face the outside, so you're kind of forcing the spike as far to the left as possible. And what you want to do is you can watch this over here in security, and then if you hear them tap the spike, what you can do is you can jump on the ledge behind you, you can throw a straight wall, and what it's going to do is it's going to give you a little ledge to stand on, and you can shoot the diffuser just like this. In terms of blocking off the spike, there's not a lot of options that you have, but here's one of them. You can plant it up against this wall right here. You can throw a straight wall and block it off just like this. Now this one is pretty good because it's very versatile. You can watch this up from heaven, you can watch this from security, and the site is small enough where you can still wrap around and have a chance to defend the spike. Switching back over to the bridge, I have not found a way to block the spike while planting on the bridge, so in my honest opinion, I'm just going to stay away from it altogether because even if you place a straight wall just like this, they can simply walk on the bridge and defuse. Now you can also block the spike from this back wall right here. If you plant the spike up against the wall, you can throw a straight wall and block it off. Now you probably want to watch this from security. You can even jump on this little ledge back here, but this one is a little bit more difficult to watch because you have to really make an effort to get back to the spike. So this one is really situational, and I don't know if I'm going to be using this one very often. And here's the last one on A site. You can plant it up against this wall right here. You can throw a straight wall, and again, this one you have to be pretty aggressive in retake because it planted essentially back site. So I don't know how often I'll be using this one as well, but again, it's good to know that it's there. Moving to heaven, this is a straight wall that you can place very similar to bind. You can essentially throw a straight wall just like this, and there's a little ledge that you can stand on which provides a very high off angle for A main, but also if anybody tries to shoot your wall, you can shoot them just like this. Now here's a really high off angle. You want to throw a straight wall like this, not diagonal, a straight wall, and what it's going to do is it's going to give you an extremely high off angle for A main. I can't wait to use this angle with like an Odin. As you can see, if somebody tries to go into the site, they really have to look up here for you, and if they don't, you can shoot them just like this. Now I know what you're thinking, the walls are never ending for A site, which you're right, they aren't, but there's not a lot on B, so here's a wall that you can use on both attacker and defender. So on defender side, you can throw a straight wall and then you can walk across and see into A main just like this. Now keep in mind this does make noise, so I wouldn't use this very often. On the other side, you can also throw a straight wall just like this. You can see backside and over to security with one wall. I would not do this without utility or smokes giving you cover because dry peeking will get you killed instantly. Now similar to Ascent, you're going to see that people are going to smoke off A main just like this, and what you can do is if you hop on top of this ledge, you can throw a wall just like this, and it should give you a pretty clear shot into backside if people are sitting there. Now that is a pretty common angle, so here's another wall that you can use to counter it. Throw a straight wall right here. You can essentially walk off the map and then you can shoot them backside just like this. Now if people are abusing that platform, throw a straight wall at security and you should have a perfect shot at them just like that. Now keep in mind though, from the other side it's going to look like this, so they can also throw a straight wall on their platform and they can shoot you at security just like this as well. I'm ready for B site. Are you ready for B site? So let's look at B site and how you can plant the spike. Starting with back site, you can plant it up against the right side wall here and then you can wall it off. Now keep in mind you can boost yourself into heaven, so this is a really good way to defend on B because it really opens up how many angles that you can defend from. Now keep in mind because it is back site, you really have to play kind of close close, because if you don't, they can defuse and you're not going to be able to defend it. Now keep in mind, don't plant on the left side, because if you plant on the left side and you wall it off like this, they can essentially jump on the ledge and defuse it, so don't do this. So B side is pretty straightforward. Up against this entire wall that you're looking at right here, you can essentially plant it anywhere and then use a straight wall to wall it off, and then you can choose your spot to defend. You can go heaven, you can go mid, you can go back to main. Again, wherever you want, you can defend it from. Now plants like this is why Sage is going to be so good on this map, because if you plant it in the mid, you can essentially split up the entire site with one wall, and then you can choose where you want to defend from. This is probably going to be most effective from heaven or coming from mid, but again, if the defenders are coming on site, they're not going to expect that it's walled off like this, because they're going to try to clear back site. Now if they want to get to the spike, they can jump on these boxes and they can drop down, which is okay, but again, you're going to be waiting for them either from mid or from heaven. Here's a high off angle that you can use for mid and for main. However, you are going to be exposed from heaven, so this one is going to require good comms from your team. Now B side also has a ramp, so you can place a straight wall just like this, and what it will do is it will create a little crack that you can shoot under just like this, and if anybody tries to come in, you can probably get the first burst at them. I wouldn't do this more than once or twice per game, but what you can also use it for is if you plant the spike back site, you can throw the straight wall right here, and what it will do is it will create a little crack that you can peek through. That way if they try to defuse, you can kill them just like this. Now you can do this far or you can do it close. It is going to be more effective close because you are going to be able to see them better. Again, this is going to require good comms with your team. Now let's say you wanted to use this more than once per match. You can plant the spike, you can place your wall, and then this time go back site instead of into main. They may not expect you, and you can get easy kills just like this. Now keep in mind, this box is 100% bangable, so if you plant the spike on the other side, you can use that same wall to split up the site, and if you watch this from stairs, you can essentially just blast through the box and get anybody who's trying to defuse just like this. Now the last thing I'm going to leave you with is in B tower there is a ramp just like there is in A tower, and if you place a straight wall just like this, you can see the enemy before they can see you, and you should have a clear shot at them and they cannot see you at all. So this is what it looks like on B tower, and if we go over to A tower, this is what it looks like. Place the same straight wall and you can shoot them, and again, they cannot see you at all. Now if you're wondering, I did take a look in the mid just to see if there were any walls that you could use, and I didn't really find any that were really effective, so that's why I'm not going to share any. And with that said, thank you for watching, and I hope that this can help you win some rounds, and please like and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this, and leave a comment with your thoughts.